Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is obviously going to be a settings video, as you can tell by the thumbnail, title, etc. But first I just wanted to show you guys a lovely clip on Dad's house of me getting a mega kill with an MP40. So let's play that out and then we'll get into the settings. So I hope you guys enjoyed that first little clip, but now let's get on to what you're actually here for, and it's the controller settings. So obviously I play, no, not controller settings, just general settings. And for those of you who don't know, I'm on a Series X. I don't play on a PC, so these will be console settings. So unfortunately, if you're on a PC looking for ideal settings, I don't have ones for you. But I know Shotzi has uploaded some PC settings. If you want to head over to his channel and check out what he's done, I'm on a Series X. For your information, so if any of these differ from what you're seeing on your screen, it's probably due to the fact that maybe you're on a different console. But I'm going to be running through what I have as my best settings in Vanguard as it stands. I will be playing around with things, but as it stands, this is what I've got over a day's game time already, and this is what I feel completely comfortable with. And I've been dropping I've dropped a V2 with it, so it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. So my stick sensitivity is 1010, which may be a little bit high. On Cold War, it was 8.8. So if you guys might be playing on 5.5 or 6.6 on Cold War, I wouldn't obviously jump all the way up to 1010. It feels very similar to 8.8 on Cold War. I don't know whether they've changed it slightly, but with the super forgiving aim assist they've got in the game currently, I feel like 1010 is ideal for me to be a bit manoeuvrable around Dad's house, as well as be able to snap onto targets using an AR in those longer range engagements. With regards to the ground sensitivity multiplier, I've just put that as 1, and the custom sensitivity per zoom is off, simply because I'm just used to what it is standard, so I don't really want to be changing that. My button layout preset is tactical, which basically swaps melee and crouch, as you can see on the right there, and essentially what that does is it enables me to be able to crouch, lay down, drop shot. Not that it's really in the game, using my right stick, which does mean melee's B. But I actually, because I have a Series 2 Elite controller, you guys have probably heard of it. I've got 2 paddles on the back. One is jump for me to, be able to jump shot. What am I talking about? I'm losing my mind. And the other one is melee. Again, I do want to apologise, guys. I'm still a bit stuffed up full of cold, which is why my voice is a bit bunged up, but I'm sure you guys don't mind that. Vertical on foot aim, standard. My aim response curves up actually would be dynamic if I didn't have a Series X Elite Series 2 controller. However, you can actually change the stick sensitivity on the accessory setting within the actual controller. So if for you guys who have a Series X controller, it's my everything else is pretty much standard, but the right stick is on the instant setting on the 4th tab along. So if you're looking for a good Series 2 Elite controller settings, change your right stick to instant, have it 4 along, and give it a go, and let me know what you think. But for you guys who don't have that option, if you're playing on a standard controller, I would play on dynamic, as it's the closest thing I have to what I'm currently using. I mean, standard works, but I would use dynamic 100%. Controller vibration on, which I know is a bit of a wacky thing for some of you guys, but I've been playing Call of Duty since COD 4 properly, and I've always had a controller vibration on. It doesn't affect my game whatsoever. It actually brings me into the game a bit. I'm able to react to being hit by actually feeling it as well as hearing it and seeing it. So I do prefer to have controller vibration on. Weapon fire threshold on. I don't really know what this is, but it basically simulates the gun's trigger, essentially. That's what it is. I have it on. ADS sensitivity transition timing is instant, so it basically means that as soon as I'm aimed in, my ADS sensitivity is instantly there. Multiplayer is 1. Again, the aim assist is really forgiving in this game, so I don't really need to lower my ADS sense. Because on Vanguard, on Cold War, it was something like 0.73, strangely, but that's because the aim assist was a bit less forgiving on that, so I needed that, to be a bit more steady. But this, I can absolutely beam left, right, centre with this. It might be different when I get into ranked. I might need to fine tune it a little bit more, but for pubs, this is perfect. My stick layout's default. Controller orientation is up. Yeah, which is fine. I don't have the controller upside down, so that's absolutely fine. My ADS is 6 stops off. Dead zones are really important. If you guys want to have the least amount of delay in your inputs, change the right stick and left stick dead zone to the minimum they can go. Now this is an important bit, without getting stick drift. Now what stick drift is essentially if you leave your controller absolutely still, you don't touch it. If your character moves or you can see him slowly turning, it means there's stick drift, in which case you want to bump up your minimum input dead zone for that whatever stick that is, up until you don't get that. So what I would do, put it all the way back down, all the way down to 1, get into a private match, leave your controller. If you're moving, up it up a couple. If you're not moving, put it down a bit. You know, see how low you can get it without the controller having a bit of bit of input without you actually having to input it. So for me it's 4, but it will depend on your controller. It's completely different for every person. The older the controller, the more the dead zone will have to be, because obviously the controller gets a bit wary, which means that the input, you know, is more prone to stick drift. So long story short, put it as low as you can without stick drift. That's essentially what it is. These max dead zones, you want 99. Now with regards to the gameplay for the controller, I have aim assist on. My weapon mount is ADS and melee, which is as it was on Modern Warfare and it is on Warzone. If I move while I'm mounted, I pull out of the mount, which is why, as in like if I pull back on the left stick, it pulls me out of the mount, which is perfect. The ammo switch on, blind fire is on. I've never used it, but it's on. Airborne mantle is partial. I would take it off, being automatic, because you want to be in full control of the character you're playing as. Partial is basically when you only mantle it if you prevent a fall. Say if you've fallen off a map and you're trying to auto mantle back on, that's essentially what that is. Off is like you're on your own, but partial works for me. It hasn't screwed me over any point so far, so I'm happy with partial. Mantle stance queuing. Say you mantle, and in that point, whilst you're mantling, which is like maybe a second animation, not even the second animation, you want to do something straight after your mantle. You push that button as you're mantling, and it will do it as soon as the mantle animation has finished. That's essentially what that is, and I've put that on. Automatic sprint is on. You can have it completely off, and you can have it on automatic tack sprint, but I feel like automatic sprint is the perfect middle area, simply due to the fact that if you have ATS on, which is that one, automatic tack sprint, you get caught fully sprinting far. Well, I got caught so many times, fully sprinted far too much, and it just got me killed. So this, you know, makes the sprint out time a little bit less. So that's pretty much what I prefer. I do tack sprint manually. Obviously, I wouldn't not tack sprint, but that's what I have for that. Completely off is fine, but when I played Modern Warfare for as much as I did a couple of years ago, my left sticks got absolutely ruined, and I needed to buy a couple sets of left sticks, constantly trying to sprint. So this is what I have on as the sprint settings. Also move forward off, sprint cancels reload on. That's very useful once you get used to it. Sprint indoor dash is on, which is good fun for those rushes. All of these are pretty straightforward as standard. I haven't really changed too much. I have changed this, however, and this basically is for when you're playing Warzone. I prefer to be able to pick things up with one instant tap rather than, you know, having to hold, press up, pick up things. So this is what I have it on Warzone, and in order for me to be consistent throughout my games and not have to relearn buttons, I just have it the same ones, and it works. It means you have to hold to reload in some certain circumstances, but you don't have to hold for too long. And if you're reloading, you should be out of cover as it is anyway. In cover, not out of cover. You don't want to be out of cover reloaded. Never want to be doing that. Scoreboard behavior is toggle, and essentially that means when you press back on your controller, it's only up. It's up until you press it off. It's not like hold. You guys know what that is. Moving on to graphics, I have 120 Hz refresh rate on. Again, Series X allows me to do that, as well as a 144 Hz monitor, so that's absolutely awesome. I have my brightness as standard, I think it is, as well as the color customization. If you guys are finding it hard to see enemies, I'd change the color customization slightly. But I close the door, shut the blinds, so it's pretty dark. FOV is 104. For Cold War is 100, but I feel like there's so many little you know, tunnels and stuff on this game. So I pumped up 104, and I'm happy with that as it is. Camera movement, these are vital. These can save you the game. This can be the difference between you being positive or negative in a game. So pay attention to these. Camera movement least, motion blur off, depth of field off. I don't know why that's on. Should be off. And fidelity FX cast off. On-demand texture streaming as well. Off. Yes, you want that off. That will stop the packet bursts. I don't know why that was on. That's probably why I've been packet bursting and moaning about that all the time. You want on-demand texture streaming off, because if you are struggling with latency issues, have that off. Audio, I have everything 100 other than the dialogue, because I'm fed up of hearing the guy's voice. That's 50. I've got everything else as standard, classic home theatre, kill streak music on, because why not? And everything else is pretty much standard. Just looking here, everything's pretty standard, other than the fact that I've got the server latency and packet loss shown on my top left. As you can see right now, it says NA and 0%, but when you're in game, it does show you what latency you're on, as well as the packet loss, which I find helpful. Obviously, keyboard and mouse, I don't have anything, and then the counter work is just information. So that's going to do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed the beginning clip at the beginning, funnily enough, and give these settings a try. I hope this guy's, as you know, sort of helped you out into trying to find what settings suit you best. But as I said previously, and how I said in all my settings videos, it's down to personal preference. The best way for you to be able to tell what settings are best for you is to jump in a private map with some bots and just have a play around. That's going to do it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.